our podcast, Spiritual Vacancy, where we are here to help assist you in your spiritual void. I am Brooke, and I am a psychic medium, Reiki practitioner, light worker. And today I'm here with our
I'm Mona Lee. I am a holistic health practitioner. I'm an energy healer, a transformational life coach, and mind, body, and spirit, and hypnotherapist. And that's enough for right now.
Well, aren't you a yoga teacher?
I can't consider myself a yoga teacher, although I have had yoga teacher training, and I used to own a studio, and I did teach yoga. But I haven't practiced because I've gotten lazy. So because I haven't practiced yoga, I feel like I don't have a right to teach yoga because it's not in my practice. And I like to live in that philosophy of like, practice what you preach. And I got lazy. However, yoga is, I think if people can understand yoga, we all do yoga.
Yeah.
Whether we realize it or not, because it's simply the union of our mind and body. That's all it means, is union of mind and body. So like I'll do that in mind body connection, when we're breathing, breathe in peace, breathe out, release the rest. That's yoga. It's that simple.
Yeah, I love doing yoga.
Do
I
you?
always feel so better when I get done doing yoga, but I'm lazy too. It's hard to like show up
Right.
to the class, but when you do it, it's
Mhm.
amazing when you're like consistent with yoga, how
Absolutely.
you don't even realize like the muscles and the breath work and how it's all working for you until you stop.
Right.
And then when you stop and you try to go back into it, it's like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize it was actually working.
Yeah. Like, oh,
Like,
what are these aches and pains in my body? And although I know I'm a half a century old now, but darn.
and be like, okay, everything hurts.
Right.
Can't even do like a vinyasa or anything like that,
Right.
And my favorite, even when I do yoga, it's the dead man's pose. Is that what that's called? 'Cause you lay
That's
there.
the Shavasana, but yeah, the corpse pose.
The corpse pose. That's dead
Dead
man's
man's
pose. You can
pose.
tell I haven't done it in a while. The corpse pose. I get
Yeah.
excited when they're like, we're gonna go into corpse pose. I'm like, oh, thank God. Because now I can just relax. I don't have to
Right.
worry about what my body's gonna not do next.
Yes, yes. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. One thing that used to drive me crazy, whenever I would suggest people to take a yoga class when I was, when I had the studio, of course, when you have a studio, you're like, oh yeah, come on to yoga, gentle yoga, or just, different types of classes. And I would have people say to me, which would shock the heck out of me, saying, I don't do yoga because I'm Christian. I'm sorry, but I really take offense by that, because it has nothing to do with religion. It
Right.
has nothing to do with religion. It has everything to do with, like, there's an eightfold path, right? There's breathing. We all breathe. We're all human beings.
Right.
Jesus breathed.
Yes,
You know?
exactly.
And
Yes.
oh my goodness. So that would drive me crazy when people would say it was about a belief system, because it's really not, has nothing to do with any kind of belief system except for a belief in your own body being your temple, your body being healthy, in your mind and your body and your spirit, and just connecting.
Yeah, and one of my neighbors, when she found out I did yoga, and I said, "Do you want to come to do yoga with me one time?" She's like, "Oh God, no." She's like, that's like witch stuff. Don't they like chant and they sing weird and they like do different stuff, and that's not very church-like. And I'm like, have you been to a yoga session? There might be some chanting, but not like what you think. I was
Right.
shocked. I couldn't believe her mindset on it.
Yeah,
You
it's
know,
amazing. It's
to already
amazing.
have such a negative connotation with it, but has never tried, never been, doesn't know anything about it,
Yeah.
just what she's heard through others.
Yeah.
So it doesn't even really have like an opinion of her own.
Yes.
Because she's
That's what I think it's important too, that we encourage people to really look into it. Like, what is yoga? What does it mean? Look it up.
right.
Look it up before you judge, because so many people could judge on things without knowing what it is. And it's of course easy to judge on things, but like the even the word Om, right?
Right.
What is your thoughts of Om? What do you think about it when you first had heard somebody go
I
Om?
love it. I mean, I
Yeah.
feel like it just like when people are doing those sounds with their mouth and you're centering your breathing and you have your eyes closed, you don't even realize the benefits that you're getting from the
Mhm.
sound healing, plus the meditative state you're in when you are holding yoga poses,
Yeah.
and how much it's centering yourself and
Yeah.
your body, and it's working on these stretches that everybody should be doing, and the
Yeah.
strength that it's providing. I
Yeah.
mean, the people that do yoga that are like super into it, the poses that they can hold is
Mhm.
amazing.
Oh, it's incredible.
It
It is.
really is
Yes.
what our
That's one
bodies
thing
can
that,
do.
yes, absolutely. That was one thing that I remember when I took the yoga teacher training from this wonderful girl, Angel. She is just so precious. Yes, I said a name. I don't know if that's right or not, but you know what? That's her name and she is an angel. So the one thing that I appreciated about her saying when I took yoga teacher training is that, and this was during a like a midlife crisis type of feel. And I just needed to find some kind of peace. And I would recommend for people to take it, even if it's not about the poses. But she said, it's not about the poses. It's not about turning yourself into a pretzel, but it's all about every part of our mind and our body and our spirit and really connecting, and the meditation, the breath work, the asanas, the yamas, just there's so much involved in yoga and that eightfold path. So I encourage people to, look it up, find out what is it about. And especially if a person is going through major life shifts or changes or stresses, it's really amazing to go sign up for yoga teacher training somewhere in your local community, because you will learn so much about yourself. And that was that I remember that's what opened up my mind to chakras. And that's what I do a lot of my practice today, is because of what I learned years ago about chakras. And it's fascinating. And that's another subject matter that I can't wait to cover, what chakras are, what they're all about. But that's just a little tiny tip of the iceberg of part of yoga.
Yeah, definitely. And even the poses like yin yoga. I
Mm.
love yin because you hold the pose. It's especially
Oh,
great for
it
your
hurts.
neck. It does. And then you don't realize what the benefits are when you leave, how
Right.
good your body feels. And you're like, oh
Yeah.
my gosh, I could touch my toes and it doesn't hurt. And the amount
Right.
of people that go into yoga with back pain, and
Mm-hmm.
then their back pain is almost like cured because they're
Mm-hmm.
stretching and they're working on their joints and they're
Yeah.
centering and getting in tune with their own body as well. And
It's
that is like aligning the chakras and working on all of those, that part of yoga.
yeah,
So it is pretty spectacular how it changes you. And it
it does.
I feel like it makes you feel more at peace too. Like
Oh,
if you start
absolutely.
your day with yoga or even end your day with yoga, it just brings this calmness or peace to you. For one, because you are war slap out, depending on
Mm-hmm.
your teacher. You are just like totally exhausted because of what we're trying to do with your body.
Yeah.
And then it also just brings this calmness. Like it
Mm-hmm.
just is like this peacefulness about you. And
Absolutely. There is a story out there that I would love to bring up for people to look up. And there was a paratrooper who actually had jumped out of an airplane, broke his back, was walking on two walkers and two canes rather,
yeah.
and was told he would never ever walk again. And the thing that healed him was yoga,
Wow.
because it realigned his spine. If you think about when a person goes into downward dog, right, and it's just realigning the spinal column to just help to realign itself into where it needs to be. It's incredible. Although just, people have to be careful too. If they're doing overly, they have to listen to their body and not do what their body is not allowing them to do. Like if they can't touch their toes, don't touch your toes. Just reach
Right.
towards your toes, and little by little, a quarter inch at a time, you're getting closer and closer to your toes. So
Yeah.
it's really a matter of like releasing that self-judgment too, is a big part of, I think, that helps people in yoga with helping themselves get
I
better
think
and
so too.
better and better.
And I
Mhm.
think a lot of people get scared to even try because they see like, not everybody, but a lot of times the yogis are very in shape, very good,
Mhm.
but I enjoy going to classes of all body types.
Absolutely.
And I love it when the teacher might be a little larger than what you're used
Yeah.
to because their body's the same. It
Yes.
moves the same. They can do the poses. I can't even do those poses. There's no
Yes.
way. There's some I just have to say no to. But I
Yes.
love it. Like if anybody's listening,
Mhm.
don't be intimidated by the people around you and find a yoga studio that you resonate with because it
Mhm.
did take me a while to
Mhm.
find, like, I go to Shanti Yoga Studio now, but it took me a while to find that because not every studio is as welcoming. I have
Mhm.
to tell
Mhm.
you, like, if you're not as advanced or you can't do this, they do look down on you. You can
Mhm.
tell the teacher doesn't want to be a part of helping you learn poses, and then other people are like in their own world, or you could see them glance over because you don't know. So you're just like
Mhm.
staying in child's pose because I know that one.
Yeah.
And that's not everywhere, but I feel like it makes a big difference when
Mhm.
people find the studio that fits their needs and don't
Absolutely.
quit just
Yeah.
because the first studio you don't like.
That's right. And then I think also just finding that tribe that you vibe with,
Right.
you
Yeah.
know, and you vibe with your tribe. But then when the people, if there are people out there who are judgmental, they're really, if you, everything is a mirror, right? If they're
Right.
judging other people, they're judging themselves in some way or
Right.
another. And that is just so sad for the human element, for anyone to be judgmental on anybody. But it's in even finding studio or teachers, yoga teachers who will do one-on-ones until you're comfortable with all the poses. That's always a great way to start too. But any place that has any kind of judgment of who belongs there and who doesn't, that would I would want to stay away from that too. Even
Yeah.
if I've been a yoga teacher for several years, which I haven't been teaching, but yet I wouldn't want to be around the energy of that. You can feel that. That is so
Oh,
real.
yeah.
That is so real when people have that love and that compassion and that care for that human body who is just showing up on the mat. The biggest thing is for people to even just show up.
Yeah.
Show up for yourself. Show up. Get on your mat and just breathe. And if you have to stay in child's pose the whole time,
That's
stay
fine.
in child's pose the whole time. You're
Yeah,
there.
because you need
You're
it.
at least there.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. And it's funny when you were talking about downward dog, we
Mhm.
should learn from our animals because our dogs
Right?
literally do downward dog and vinyasa like every morning, every
Yes,
night, every time they get up. And then it's like that's where they got it from. It's so cool.
exactly. Or maybe that's where humans got it from, is
Right,
from the
right.
dogs,
Yeah,
right?
knowing that they are so smart. They stretch
Right.
their bodies every time they get up, and we
Mhm.
should learn from them, like, especially when we get out of bed.
Mhm.
I definitely don't stretch like I should. I just get up
Yeah.
and go about my day, and then my dogs will stretch and do all the downward dog and the vinyasa and whatever else they're doing, and I'm like, "You guys are so smart, but I just don't even have
Right.
the energy to do it right now."
But if we could learn from our dogs, even like learn love,
Yeah,
unconditional love.
yeah.
Hello.
I know. The world would be a better
That's
place.
all they know. That's all they know is love. That's all they know is love.
I
You
know.
know? What
Yeah.
is wrong with humans? What is wrong?
That judgmental stuff steps in,
I know.
for ourselves or for others or
Yes.
whatever. Human
Yes.
emotions
That's
that
right.
the
That's right.
dogs don't have,
That's
so they're
right.
just so innocent.
Mhm. Well, that is my prayer for humanity and my prayer for people is just to find that love, but it does start within. It all starts from the
Yes.
inside. So that's my challenge that I would like to put out there for our audience that is listening is find something about yourself that you absolutely love.
Yes. Yes. I love it.
That's the challenge of the day. And that's
They
your
can put it in the comments too.
mind yoga. Yes, yes.
Mhm.
Place it in the comments below and we'll develop more topics as we go along.
Yeah,
So
this is great. You guys get out and do some yoga and we'll go
yes,
with you. We'll meet you
move
there.
your body, move your body, move your
Move your
body, move your
body.
body.
Okay, everybody has a beautiful day.
Yes.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Hey. Bye.